You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It does not get much better than this. The Houston Astros finish off a road trip by winning 8 straight games and finishing it with another sweep in different fashion than most of them on this trip today by beating the Tampa Bay Rays in 10 innings by a final of 2-1. So many heroes to get through in today's baseball game. So few hits to talk about because the Astros only had a big fat 2 of them. That's okay, though. They had just enough to win this baseball game today. We'll talk about Ronel Blanco doing his thing. We'll talk about Josh Hader stepping up and doing it big there for the Astros in extra innings. And once again, like last night, the theme of this baseball team right now, people, is that they are dangerous. You cannot slow them down at this moment the way that they have been rolling, and it continues. And man, oh man, what a road trip for the Houston Astros as they get another victory. Today's episode of the Locked On Astros Postcast is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. So first of all, welcome to the show tonight. Hi, I'm your host, of course, Michael Connor. Appreciate you guys joining us. If you know who I am, well, I've been covering the Astros for a very long time. If you don't know who I am, well, then you don't know that I've done that for a very long time. I was on the radio for years talking Astros, and guess what? We're right here on the Locked On Sports Houston page. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button tonight. Would greatly appreciate that. If you're watching this later on, hit that subscribe button. We continue to build our little Astros community. I appreciate you guys every night. You guys kicked it off again last night with a bang. There was a ton of you in here watching. I loved it. We hit over the 1,600 mark on subscribers last night. So 2,000 is going to be here before we know it, and it's all because of you guys. And it's because the Astros are winning and playing good baseball and giving us good things to talk about. And I know that it gets you guys excited every single night. Now, look, we can talk about the bad little things here or there. That's fine. You know, whether it's Pedro Leon doing his thing. And by the way, I didn't even mention yet. I failed to mention. I'm sorry. Let me just back that thing on up real quick. The Mariners lost again tonight. That's right. Seattle keeps losing. So, yeah, 2.5 game lead to 1.5 game lead by the virtue of the Mariners having the tiebreaker over the Astros. But still, Mariners starting to lose, Astros starting to win. All is right in the world. See us rise, Seattle. See us rise. Isn't that they're saying, see us rise? It doesn't really work for those guys. Works for the city of Houston and for the Astros with what they're doing. Let's go through it all now. Sweeping 2 consecutive series to end a road trip is not easy. That is a tall task no matter who you are playing. They played a Boston team that might not be the most dangerous Boston team that's out there that we've ever seen, but they're still a team with a winning record this season. They went there and took care of business. They went down to Tampa the first 2 nights, and they took care of business. Now, tonight, it was different. Yes, Brian Abreu came out there and gave up that lead, but they found their way. And that has kind of been the theme of this season, is finding their way. That's who the 2024 Houston Astros are. And like I said yesterday, I will say it again. Right now, as they find their way, they have found their way to being dangerous. Yeah. Dangerous. And they look every bit of it again tonight, because even when they have a down night hitting the baseball, can't get anything going, they find a way to get the victory, and they find a way to outpitch the other team. And right now, take a bow. Josh Hader went out there. Now, this is a man that I get it. When you're the closer, you are going to deal with a lot of noise from fan bases, especially when you come out and you have outings where you give up runs. But Josh Hader has weathered his storm, which has been giving up too many home runs this season, and he has slowly navigated through a season where he doesn't blow save opportunities. And if you've seen the story from earlier this year, he basically told the Astros, you can use me how you want. Because the Astros committed to him unlike the Brewers did in the past, and he told the Brewers in the past, I would not pitch 3 consecutive days, would not pitch multiple innings. He was protecting himself. It wasn't a bad play on his part. He did the same with the Padres. Came here, he is all about the team. He's ready to go. That man went back out there after throwing 10 pitches yesterday and threw 2 innings today. That's the guy at the Astros signed for $95 million. Let them hang and blow 97 past everybody. That's what Josh Hader was brought here to do. And I know that it got a lot of people all in their feelings before the season and whatnot. And, I do feel bad for Ryan Pressly with how the whole thing went down, being as good as he's been the last few years as the closer, to be demoted without, deserving to lose his job. But this is why you bring that guy in. This is the elite level stuff that you need out of him. And you're getting out of him. Big, big, big night for Josh Hader tonight. He has really, really, if you go look at all the numbers, found his way to just elite level numbers outside of his ERA, where he's giving up runs. He basically gives up runs when it's non-save situations. That's what he does typically. And tonight, he gets himself a win because he went out there and pitched 2 innings for the Astros when they needed it the most. And that, by the way, was his, that was his 5th win of the season. When you play these extra inning games, you can rack up some wins. 3 strikeouts for him on the night. His strikeout numbers are elite this season. Absolutely elite, like they should be. And it's one of those nights where you look at that signing and go, glad that guy is on your side. Yeah, because if he was pitching for the other team, you'd be the one kicking the can right now down the road, just mad at the world. So darn good. Jeremy Pena. Let's give one to Jeremy Pena right now, too. Jeremy Pena is starting to find his swing as well. That is a beautiful thing. The Astros, the one thing that they did on this road trip a lot was hit the baseball over the fence. And it's been something that's kind of been lacking for this team at times is hitting with power. Pena now up to 12 home runs on the season, produced the only run and only hit for the Astros in the first 9 innings of this baseball game with that solo home run. If he can find the spark and push his way back to being a 20 home run guy this year, which he's got 8 to go to get there. He's got a month and a half left. That's a lot of home runs to hit between now and the end of September. It's possible. But he's gonna post career numbers this year in terms of, batting average and on base finally being okay. Still plays a great defense at shortstop. He's red hot right now. Over the last week, he's hitting .379 with 3 home runs. You just go back over his last calendar month, .276 with 5 home runs for Jeremy Pena in this one. They need his bat to be something of a threat. They're still creeping closer, it feels like, to getting Kyle Tucker back out there. They need it in the worst way possible. They need another body in that outfield. Right now, they're an outfielder short. Maybe Mauricio Dubon coming through with a big swing there kind of energizes his bat somehow, and you could play him a little bit more in the outfield. But right now, they're stuck playing the likes of Chas McCormick and Pedro Leon, and it's not good. Their outfield production is not good. They will absolutely have to get an outfielder this winter, but they are also in need of getting Kyle Tucker back simply so they don't have to play all these guys in the outfield all the time that don't need to be out there. Chas, by the way, 0 for 4 strikeouts on the night. I mean, completely lost season for him. The other one that I did want to mention here, the other two, I'm not going to just kick him when he's down. Brian Abreu still just does not make me feel comfortable this year. Nothing about him. He comes in, traffic. I mean, he's got a whip of 1.25. That's the definition of traffic when you go out there. Obviously gave up the lead there. The Rays tying the game at 1 apiece. Not the greatest of road trips for Brian Abreu. He gave up the run in this one. He gave up 2 runs the other day in Boston. And then he gave up, well, he didn't give up any other runs, but those 2 games weren't the best of games. And those, when it's such a small sample size for you, it gets, blown up. It's in your face when you see it. The other thing to say, in that 10th inning, when who the hell hit the ball to center field to this point? I can't even remember. I had to go look. Who hit the ball to center field when Pedro Leon tagged up? Why am I blanking on this, people? Was it DeZenzo? No, he struck out. It was Jake Myers, right? No, Jake Myers walked. It was Pena. I don't know who it was. It was Pena. And Pedro Leon tags up to go to third base and gets all the way to third base and for some reason doesn't slide. What are you doing not sliding there? I mean, Jose Siri, we all know, he might be somebody that you don't love having on your team for all the antics and the going crazy on plays, whatever, but he's still got a cannon out there in center field. He put everything he had into that throw. If Pedro Leon's lucky he didn't get thrown out. He barely missed. Just slide. Just slide. He's not getting a lot of consistent run to really know anything. I think it's pretty clear, though. I mean, look, he'll be back. Kyle Tucker does come back in the next few weeks. Pedro Leon will be back to the minor leagues. But then you do have September call-ups, so, and you don't get a lot of them now. Maybe he sticks around for that. The Astros do have a lot of good things to worry about. I don't want to sit here and just, cloud it all up with all the negative from it, because there wasn't a lot of negative tonight. They got the win. That's as good as it gets. That's the best part of this baseball game tonight. And, they're rolling. They've won 8 in a row. And this show is rolling, by the way. Thank you guys for piling in again tonight. The numbers are going absolutely bonkers watching these shows every night. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. We do this every night. We talk Astros baseball. We're going to do this for not only the Astros, we do this for the Texans, the Rockets, the Cougs. That's what this channel is about. It's about you and me and Houston sports and reacting to the games when they finish. So I feel like it's a great place to be. And if you just go to the comments, look at it. I mean, you guys go nuts in the comments. Just hang out with everybody. Let's all hang out every night and hopefully watch the Astros continue to win baseball games. Let's talk about Ronel Blanco. He looked awesome tonight. We'll see if there's any update on his hand as well after this brief message here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. If you haven't been outside today, it's hot. And when it's hot, you need to hydrate. I will be outside. The Astros have the day off tomorrow. I'll be doing my yard tomorrow, and guess what I'll be drinking when I'm doing my yard? Some liquid IVs. You know why? I need to get the hydration back in me. I need to get those electrolytes back in me. Tear, pour, live more. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates you better than water alone. You be like me. Love the sugar-free peach flavor, my absolute favorite. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. And one more quick message before we get back to it, and that's about PrizePicks. Why don't you make the games a lot more fun and do that by playing PrizePicks? You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $10,000. If you're looking for promotions, PrizePicks has got you covered every week, from lowering select player stat projections on Tuesdays to help your lineup hit, or getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Friday. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Locked On Astros Postcast, rolling on a Wednesday night, talking about your red-hot Astros. I am your host, of course, Michael Connor. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hit that subscribe button to the channel if you've not done that already. If you're watching this later on, do the same. Appreciate that. You can find this show anywhere that you get your podcast. Go and search for Locked On Astros. You'll get this show and the Locked On Astros show. Brett and Eric will, I'm sure, be live here. I think they're live pretty soon after we are typically. So when you're done with this show, hop over to their channel, hit subscribe there, watch their show. It's a whole big happy Astros family. We are all so excited that the Astros are playing great baseball. Seattle loses tonight. Huge help to the Astros. Lead goes to 2.5, but for the technical purposes of it, with the Mariners having the tiebreaker over the Astros this season, they, of course, it's a 1.5 game lead at this point. But let's talk about Ronel Blanco right now, because he did not, and we talked about this yesterday a little bit, and we talked about this in the Boston series over the weekend when he pitched. And really, it's kind of been in the second half after they come back from the All-Star break overall. I have felt like maybe the workload, which is the most he's ever had in a season in his professional career, is catching up to him a little bit. But tonight, he looked like a man completely in control. He looked like a man that is just absolutely doing his thing. He looked like a man that had every pitch working. And on top of that, his pace, his rhythm on the mound was great. I can tell this from watching Ronel Blanco pitch. He is a guy that does not like pitching in outdoor atmospheres. You know why? That man sweats like a machine. And I just feel like he gets gassed super easily. And pitching in climate-controlled Minute Maid Park, which is still hot, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. They've got an air conditioning problem over there or something. That place is a freaking hot box for some reason the last couple of years. But between that and Tropicana Field, maybe he just felt like he was back in his controlled environment today. So you got the good out of Ronel Blanco. And that's the guy that they need, of course, to pitch for them consistently come postseason time, because he was so dominant early in the season, what he did. And that was more of what you saw out of him early in the year, Ronel Blanco. It was, really shutting guys down, weak contact all over the place against him, and, really doing his thing. By the way, he left the game after getting hit in the index fingers, what Joe Ibotta said, on that comebacker that looked like it nearly got him in the face. X-rays were negative, however, for Ronel Blanco. So there's good news there. It does not sound like he's going to probably have any issue from that. I'm sure it's going to be sore and it's going to bug him for a few days. But they're going to need him, of course, and really they're going to need a lot. They have the day off, like I mentioned, tomorrow. We're going to talk about the White Sox series coming up in just a few minutes and how important it is for this Astros team to go out there and to continue to take care of their business against a team that they should absolutely crush. But I've mentioned this before, and it's worth mentioning again, of course, because, well, this is what the schedule's at now. The Astros, after the day off tomorrow, will play from the 16th of August. So that's the 16th all the way to the 2nd of September without another day off. That is a lengthy period of time. That's 3, 6, 10, 13, 16, 18 games, 18 days in a row with a game. 18 days in a row. And they didn't need Ronel Blanco to go down with anything bad. And it sounds like everything's good there. But they also need Ronel Blanco to go out there and to continue to do what he does when it comes to command of the changeup, command of the slider, when he's got a command of the fastball. He really had it all working tonight, and he was pitch efficient throughout the entire game. That is something that, of course, he's needed to be able to do consistently, and he did do that consistently. It just hasn't been the same of late, but it was exactly that tonight for the Houston Astros. And I really hope you guys can't hear my dogs just going absolutely nuts right now in the background. I don't think you can through this microphone, but I'm not going to lie to you. It was the most distracting thing ever. It's not Coco, by the way. For those of you that are new to the channel, again, hit subscribe. We have a show mascot. She made an appearance. She doesn't make a lot of appearances on the show. She's not in the room tonight. Her name's Coco. She's the Chihuahua of the house. But she's not the one barking out there. It's the other two big dogs that are just barking their heads off right now. But the Astros get the win tonight, 2-1. And again, Seattle loses, which helps the Astros in the American League West. So, all's right? Everything's good. I don't know about you guys. I told you the other day, I'm finally having fun, and I mean that. I am finally it took until August, the middle of August, for me to have fun with Astros baseball. Isn't it nice to have fun Astros baseball back? Things that you can enjoy. I'll be picky here. Man, that game was blowing through real quick earlier. It would have been awesome if they finished that game in an hour and 58 minutes. It was pacing towards it, but it didn't happen. That's okay. I will take the wins. The length of game can be whatever it is. I love a fast baseball game, but I will take the win. It could be a 4-hour game as long as it gets the victory. But don't actually give me a 4-hour game. I don't need those anymore. I'm glad those are gone. But they get the victory tonight, 2-1. Let's talk about the White Sox series. The importance of the White Sox series to continue to take care of your business, and the Astros having the potential to run this winning streak up into the double digits when it comes to wins and really kind of put their foot forward on the American League West this weekend before they get into a portion of the schedule here that is going to be a little bit more difficult coming up after this White Sox series. We'll talk about that after this brief message right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Are you taking that dream vacation this summer but dreading the cost with Ibotta? You get cash back on all of your purchases, so you could spend more time making memories this summer and less time dreaming about them. Ibotta is the free app that lets you earn cash back every time that you shop. Earn on hundreds of items from groceries, beauty supplies, even toys, so you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. That could cover the cost for an entire shopping trip, that flight you've been eyeing, or the fancy dinner you've been craving. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 for just trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code LOCKEDONMLB. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use code LOCKEDONMLB. And one more message before we get back to our Astros discussion. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts, your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right, the Locked On Astros Postcast continuing tonight after a sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays, following a sweep of the Boston Red Sox. 8 consecutive wins for the Houston Astros. It's official. They are on absolute fire is what they are right now. They gain a game in the standings in the American League West. By the way, they get to 10 games over 500. Did you ever think that when this team early in the season was 12 games under 500, you would be sitting at some point later in the year talking about them being 10 games over 500? I will say this. I did not believe in that moment. I have admitted to that many times on this show. I did not think that this team was going to turn it around like they have. Something just felt off early in the season. And health is always going to be part of the story. They've gotten healthy in certain areas. They're still waiting to get some of their health back. I get that. But they are also going about it kind of how you expect the Houston Astros to go about it. They're either going out there and dominating you on the mound, or they're going out there and dominating you at the plate. And that's been one of the things that we've actually not given enough love to on this road trip. The starting pitching on the road trip for the Astros was excellent. Absolutely excellent. Every night. And when the team gets that kind of production out of their starting staff, we've watched it for years now, it's hard to beat this franchise. It just is. I mean, they went out there, and here's the run totals they gave up as a team in each game in this series. 4, 2, 4, 4, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1. you're going to win a lot of games when you give up those kind of run totals. And that's exactly what they did. Whether it was Spencer Arrighetti going out there and twirling a gym the other day in Boston. Yusei Kikuchi with a couple of really good starts. Ronel Blanco's start not so great the other day, but this one was excellent. Fromber continuing to absolutely roll. Hunter Brown doing his thing on this road trip as well. Tip of the cap to the starting pitching and what they were able to accomplish on this road trip. The Astros would not have these victories without them by any means. They do now have to turn the page, of course, after a very needed and I'm sure appreciated day off. It's a long road trip there for the Astros that they just went on, even if they spent the first portion of it still in the state of Texas. But they're going to welcome the White Sox to town Friday night. 7:10 first pitch, by the way. We'll be with you after the game. Spencer Arrighetti against Garrett Crochet, whose numbers have been on the rise. I'm kind of glad after listening to what he said about his whole situation and demanding contract extensions and refusing to pitch in the postseason unless he got one to anybody that wanted to trade for him. Kind of glad the Astros were never in the mix on him, it sounds like, and he probably deserves to play for a team like the White Sox. He'll go up against Spencer Arrighetti, who, again, coming off that gym, his ERA has a chance, you'd think, to get back down below the 5 number in this game on Friday. He's at 5.14. If he can go out there and toss 6 innings shutout baseball, probably gets that number down. Saturday, it'll be a 6:10 first pitch. Hunter Brown up against a name that you're familiar with from his time with the Mariners, Chris Flexen, who's having a god-awful year. And then Sunday, it'll be Fromber Valdez against Kai Bush. I don't know anything about a Kai Bush, but his last name is Bush. I can tell you that. Not sure if it's any relation to the famous Bushes in the state of Texas. But Fromber will probably – look, there's no other way to put it. The Astros are rolling right now. They're beating everybody that they play, and they're about to play a team that comes to town that has a record at this moment of 29-92. 29-92. The next closest team in terms of losses to the White Sox is the Rockies at 44. They've got the worst record in baseball secured with ease. They absolutely need to sweep this series. Yes, the White Sox, it's baseball. Anybody can beat anybody. The White Sox beat the Yankees, not last night, but the night before. And they went out there and smacked them around. Like slapped them around all over the yard. That can happen. Baseball is one of those sports. But when you look at it on paper, everything screams, especially with the way that the Astros have been playing, you come home and you keep this thing a-rolling and you just storm right through them. The homestand will wrap up after that with the Red Sox coming to town, so you get another look at Boston, which will be interesting to see what kind of adjustments both sides make after seeing each other just about a week before the team will head back out on the road for a road trip that includes 4 in Baltimore and then 3 in Philadelphia, which right now I don't feel so worried about the Philadelphia games because they've just been falling apart. But right now you got to worry about what's in front of you, again, which is the Chicago White Sox this weekend, a team that you should absolutely crush. We'll be back with you Friday night when that game wraps up, of course, a little later than we've been doing this week thanks to the earlier starts on the East Coast. Again, thank you guys for pouring into the channel tonight. It has been awesome. We've been rolling. I would appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button. Keep building this thing with us. Come on back. Hang out with us other nights. We keep doing this, and it's all because of you guys, and I truly do appreciate being able to hang out with you guys and talk Astros baseball every single night. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Enjoy the off day tomorrow on Thursday. We'll talk Friday night right here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Oh, my camera's still on. Bye.